Aw, hell yeah, James motherfucking Bond. Nowadays, the 007 movies are gritty, realistic spy thrillers, but back in the day, they were just fun. Remember fun? I do. I remember these movies having it all. Action, adventure, romance, spy gadgets, abuse towards women, racism. Alright, so not all the movies have aged well, but neither has your mother, so we'll just leave it at that. Hell, I still get dirty looks from people for saying that I prefer the older Bond movies. People are like, oh, those movies were goofy. Well, yeah, that's why I like them. If I want realism on screen, I'll watch one of the newer movies. But if I want good old-fashioned fun, I watch something from like the Moore era. Alright, enough of me bitching, I did that enough last week. Today I want to review something good for a change, so I figured why not play a game that no one really talks about. 007, Everything or Nothing. It seems like whenever you're around a group of people and the topic of Bond games pop up, GoldenEye is the only one that gets a mention. And don't get me wrong, it's a great game. But there were other titles that came out after that captured being 007 way better, and in number one in doing so is Everything or Nothing. The game was published by EA and they went all out too. You see, the style at the time for Bond games was get the likeness for Pierce Brosnan, find a sound-alike to voice him, then place him in a generic plot. Oh, and make it a first-person shooter cause GoldenEye did well. But with Everything or Nothing, they pulled out all the stops. They got Pierce's likeness and got him to do voiceover for the game as well. Plus, they got Willem Dafoe to be the villain, Heidi Klum as well, the recording artist Maya to sing the opening song and be a Bond girl, Richard Kiel to reprise his role as Jaws, Shannon Elizabeth of American Pie fame, John Cleese of Monty Python fame, and Judi Dench of Judi Dench fame. They also got the guys who wrote GoldenEye the movie to pen the game's original story as well. The game was released in 2004 on PS2, Xbox, and GameCube. Oh, and there was a Game Boy Advance version, but who gives a shit? I first found out about the game sometime after it got released, and boy did it blow me away. Nothing could make me feel like a womanizing spy with a drinking problem quite like this game did. So again, I have to wonder, why does no one really talk about this game? Do I just have blind nostalgia or what? We're going to be playing the PS2 version today, and quick disclaimer, I am using an emulator to record me playing, so if the gameplay looks a little wonky at times, it's because of the emulator settings, not the game itself. That being said, let's start this shit. Our story begins in Central Asia with a little mini-adventure, just like the movies usually do. Bond was sent out to stop an arms deal with this general trying to sell Soviet nuclear technology to this guy, who could be the cousin of the Nazi from Raiders of the Lost Ark. 007 shoots a missile for a distraction and we are put in control. This is a great opener too. In the span of 5 minutes, we are taught the cover and shooting mechanics, use our grappling hook, shoot down a damn Harrier fighter with a rocket launcher, get the briefcase, and we get out. Just another day in MI6, I suppose. We then see a music video intro just like in the movies, sung by Maya. To be honest, I have no idea who this lady is. My music taste is usually Frank Zappa and WWE intro music, because I'm cultured. But you can still tell that a lot of work went into this to make it look legit. Next is a tutorial queue setup. No, not that queue. Even though this place does look like the holodeck when it's not in use. Anyway, we're introduced to the core mechanics, such as fighting hand-to-hand, shooting weapons with a lock-on system, pretty common at the time. We also learn how to use gadgets like the grappling gun and the Q spiders, which can be used to access hard-to-reach areas and find secrets. And lastly, we learn about Bond Sense, a way to stop time and look around the area to see what could be useful. I guess that's how this fucker always survives everything. He can just stop time and think about what he needs to do. The best part is John Cleese's Q and Judi Dench's M are talking to you the whole time.
Bond, you may find a good spot to use the rappel.
Bond, you can dispatch your enemies non-lethally with hand-to-hand combat.
Excellent, 007.
Mission 2 is to destroy a nanobot prototype that scientist Heidi Klum, yeah, just go with it, was working on and escape. We start off rappelling down an exploding building, landing on another roof, and shooting some standard henchmen, and holy shit, I died already? Yeah, this is not a game I suggest starting on the hardest difficulty. I'm just used to it now because most games are made with Bronze League players in mind. But even back in the 6th console generation era, games would still kick your ass most of the time if you weren't paying attention. Get good is in effect. So playing more carefully, I continue climbing down and reach the end. The game then takes me to a score screen. No, not that one. This score screen was very common for Bond games at the time. It took into consideration the difficulty you were playing on, time, and these things called Bond moments. These started in Agent Under Fire, and if you haven't played that, let me catch you up.
No, sir. Your eyes don't deceive you. Unfortunately, I am the last thing they will ever see.
Anyways, Bond moments are certain actions you can do during a mission that the man himself would probably do. These can range from releasing steam to stun enemies, massaging a woman, or lighting a man on fire with your motorcycle that has a built-in flamethrower, causing a gas tanker to explode while you slide under it. Yeah, I guess you can say they can vary. The ranks in the game are bronze, gold, and platinum, which I'll get into later. Next mission is a driving stage escaping a collapsing dam, while chasing a train carrying kidnapped scientist Heidi Klum. Yeah, just go with it. And Jesus, there's a lot going on here. First off, you get two choices of vehicles to drive. An SUV with autolock missiles and machine guns, and a motorcycle with missiles that's faster and has its own unique path. A side note for the game is that the driving parts are using the same engine as the Need for Speed games. That's pretty cool. Now's also a good time to mention the graphics. It may not look as impressive now, but this game looks great for the time. And hell, some of these set pieces are still pretty impressive. The mission ends with you getting underneath the train to climb it. Next is a stealth section, which works fine enough. It's no Splinter Cell, but it will do. At this point, you realize that Bond's standard pistol has the option to have a silencer on it, and man, I love when games give me this option. Make your way to the front of the train and... FYI, no checkpoints. The missions are usually pretty short, but it is frustrating when the game wants to be trial and error at times. So make it up there again, turn on your thermal vision before you enter, go in, fuck shit up. We then get our first boss battle with a Bond staple, Jaws, who I guess is pissed at James for just letting him and his girlfriend crash land on Earth.
Don't worry, they'll make it. It's only 100 miles to Earth.
Oh yeah, they'll be fine. I'm sure they have their seatbelts on. This poor lady's blood probably painted the whole friggin' space station before they even hit the ground. So anyway, the boss battle is pretty easy with waiting for Jaws to throw these pillars at you, counter an attack, lead him towards electricity, shock him 3 times, fight's over. The train crashes because of course it does, and we escape with scientist Heidi Klum. Yeah, I know. In the helicopter, which in the next mission we fly. God damn, this game's got more variety than Mario Party. Did the designers think we get bored with just one gameplay style in a row? That's not a complaint, by the way. I'm just shocked there was a time EA released something with this much effort. This level is wild, too. It starts off with you going through canyons, shooting other helos down, then you end up chasing this general guy through Egyptian tombs with Indiana Jones-style booby traps, ending with a mini-boss battle. Afterwards, we drop off Heidi and find out that she's really working for our main villain of the game, Willem Dafoe, who has some Russian name, but I'm calling him Willem Dafoe for this review. I'm not here to make new friends. She gives him what was left of the nanobot technology, and we know he's not going to use it for world peace. We get a cutscene of 007 going to MI6 headquarters getting briefed on his next mission. Apparently 003 is missing in Peru while looking into Dafoe, and M wants us to find him. We stop by to see Q and get some new equipment, where we meet his new assistant, who I'm sure is not wearing appropriate attire for working in a laboratory, but I'll roll with it. New gadgets include a dart gun that knocks your enemies out from a distance.
How thoughtful.
And grenades disguised as coins.
Brilliant.
Next up, we land in Peru, where we find 003's hideaway, get there, and answer the phone telling us to go into the hotel in town. The place is swarming with patrols, but thanks to Q's cloaking technology, we turn a vehicle segment into a stealth vehicle segment. Pretty dope. We then get to meet our love interest of the week named
Serena Saint-Germain,
a geologist played by Shannon Elizabeth. We beeline it out of town where she tells us that she believes 003 is kidnapped and taken to an abandoned mine just outside of town. The mission after takes place in the mine where we really put that license to kill to the test, leading us to these temple ruins, and I do have to say it was during these missions where I realized that the cover-based shooting in this game kinda isn't great. The lock-on doesn't always lock on to exactly who you want, and most of the time the moving from cover to cover is slow and awkward. You ever wondered why Gears of War was such a big deal? It made cover-based fighting smooth and fun. This is what we had before, and it was okay for the time, but harder to go back to once you played something better. And fucking hell, these levels kicked me in the balls too. You got enemies spawning everywhere, behind you, above you, out your ass, everywhere. But I'm not a noob, so I power through, leading us to a cutscene of Dafoe interrogating 003, and once James makes his presence known, Willem ends the session early with a shot to the dick. No, really, look. 007 chases the bad guy on foot, taking care of his endless supply of soldiers deeper into the mine. Once that's finished, we see the now evil henchwoman Heidi Klum with our new squeeze.
I think she's fallen for you, James.
No. You gotta wait for him to say, let her go. And then I could have spliced in.
Very poor choice of words.
Amateurs. By the way, that must have been the quietest helicopter ever for her not to even raise her voice and James heard her. We swan dive after our lady friend and damn, this looks awesome. Still holds up too. We save her just in the nick of time, of course. Mission 11 has us manning a turret and cannon on a fucking tank in an on-rail shooting segment. The next location is New Orleans, where we sneak into a facility thanks to our contact whatever, only to find out that her cover as a nightclub singer has been blown and we gotta find her before the villain from Hitman Absolution does. So we go through the club full of henchmen willing to die just for a fat guy with a robot arm. God, what are these guys getting paid just to throw their lives away? What, do they get dental or something? How is there so much loyalty? Par for the course, Maya is captured, leading us to a big graveyard section, which was pretty cool, but pretty difficult. The mission ends with a boss battle with this guy named John LaRouge. And let me tell you something. You don't fuck with John LaRouge. This guy takes about 100,000 bullets and barely flinches. I don't know who this guy is, but he should have been the lead villain of the game. We save our contact, and next is to blow up a factory producing nanobots. How do you blow up a factory, you might ask? Why, the easiest way possible. By releasing an RC car and remote controlling it to trigger an explosion using lasers. Fairly common. Mission 17 takes us to the bayou in an old plantation house, and around this point in the game, you get a suit that makes you entirely invisible for as long as you have battery power. At this point in the game, they just keep throwing guys at you till you've lost your damn mind. This all leads to a pseudo-boss battle where you gotta destroy this fat fuck's secret lab, then drop a ball on his ass, then we're on to stopping a still-alive Jaws from destroying New Orleans using nanobots. Yeah, you see these nanobots are made out of platinum, which is what the mines from earlier were mining, and they will destroy any material except the metal that they're made out of. So this is Defoe's big plan. Threatening the world with nanobots that can destroy whole cities. Bond villains always have stupid ways to take over the world, so this is pretty normal. Hey, at least it's not starting World War III just to have the media rights to China. Looking at you tomorrow never dies. Anywho, this is a cool driving mission, swerving in and out of traffic to take out the tanker, and I'm sure we'll never see Jaws again. Next is back to Peru to investigate a platinum depot, where the first thing we do is sneak into a hotel to steal a famous race car driver's outfit to win a race in order to get an invite to Willem Dafoe's house, just for us to be recognized immediately and sent face to face with our antagonist. Turns out he hates Bond because he killed Dafoe's mentor, Max Zorin, aka fucking Christopher Walken from A View to a Kill. Nice reference, I'm impressed.
I'm happiest in the saddle.
Too bad, Mr. Bond. By winning that race, you lost your life and hers. Good night.
Prepare to die, Mr. Bond.
You first.
Why don't you just kill him?
So of course James beats up these two clowns, and holy shit, the rest of this mission is brutal. I think this is where I turned the difficulty down to medium because I was tired of getting my ass pounded. You start off with no weapons, so you take these two out, get a pistol, then you gotta make it through the hotel slowly killing guys and collecting what little ammo they drop. We save the grill and make our escape. We drop her off and take a bike, which leads us to the most fun but frustrating parts of the game. A platform section on a bike across the rooftops of the city. As you can see, it looks awesome, but you better be ready to fall, and I mean a lot. Aw, man. Smeg! Damn! Shit! Fuck! Goddamn son of a bitch! As much as this part made me furious, it felt great getting it right, and I really felt like Bond for a second. But on the other hand, fuck this part. We get into the Platinum Depot where we're discovered immediately and placed on a slab for our villain. This seems to be a kinda common occurrence for him, huh? Yeah, so this is the part where the villain tells us his full plan that we're gonna swart later. Cool.
Kill him.
Goodbye, James.
Wait, aren't you even gonna watch them? They could get away.
So we easily escape the easily escapable scenario with a little help from an EMP grenade and shoot our way through the factory, where of course we hit the self-destruct button while leaving. We're saved by Serena, who can fly a helicopter. Thought you said you were a geologist.
Part-time.
Alright, enough Indiana Jones references. We're talking about Bond here. Jones will get his time. We receive our last gadget, a network tap device that lets you control other electronic objects, and next stop is Moscow, as platinum tanks have taken control of the city. 007 hijacks one, and we get to drive to Red Square under the Kremlin to blow up a nanobomb ready to destroy the whole city. Next, we're back on foot for a Mission Impossible laser dodge sequence, leading to a last boss fight with Jaws with a flamethrower. No, But yes. Anyway, same shit, different toilet. Circle, strafe, and shoot. I gotta say, at this point, I'm tired of going to the menu every time I pass a mission, just to look at my score and save. The worst part is, for some dumbass reason, all games in this generation had no for the default in saving for all 9 questions they were gonna ask. You cannot space out on these, otherwise you'll hit no for the last question, cancel the whole save, and start all over again. Seriously, what was the problem back then? It should just say, hey, wanna save? And then yes. Why wouldn't I want to save? I bought the fucking memory card, didn't I? Are you sure you want to overwrite your... Yes! Jesus Christ, just hurry up! Are you worried I don't have enough space? Trust me, I'll delete Scooby-Doo Night of 100 Frights if I need to. Just save the fucking game! Sorry, I've always wanted to get that off my chest. Alright, we're in the home stretch here. Next is an open area where the only way to really beat it is to take control of these tanks using the network tap and kill a lot of the enemies, but even then it ain't easy. I get to the end and open the door. What is this? Fucking Doom? Reminder, no checkpoints. 15 minutes of work down the crapper. After that, we really get an ass whooping. Mission 28, the final card, is where I said fuck it and I turned it down to easy. This game gives you so little ammo to begin with, and you will need all of it to beat this mission. There are so many guys. How did Willem Dafoe hire them all? There couldn't be unemployment if someone was hiring this many fucking people. Afterwards is a boss fight with Dafoe and Klum in a Harrier jet, and in a really slick callback from the beginning of the game, we shoot the missiles on the jet to take it down. Last mission, everything or nothing, and boy do they mean it. This part to get to the boss battle can fuck right off. The very last bit is to blow up Dafoe in a glass turret, sending him to his death, then stopping a missile about to hit London, and we are done. Cue lame ending line.
Oh, James. What was that for?
Call it a hint of bigger things to come.
What are we going to do now?
Well, we can swim or
what?
come here.
He was right, you know.
What is it?
I'll show you. This is no time to be rescued.
Well, he's certainly left with his tail between his legs.
Good night.
She's just coming, sir. Keeping the British hand up, sir.
I think he's attempting re-entry, sir.
Maybe you two would like to finish debriefing each other at Guantanamo.
Always wanted to have Christmas in Turkey.
Oh, so good.
Especially when you're bad.
Whew. Beating the game, you access survival test missions, which yeah, I'll get right the fuck on that. Achieving gold medals unlock the extras for the game, like concept art that you don't care about, production stills, alternative outfits for the ladies. There's also platinum medals that I mentioned earlier. To get these, you have to play the game on the hardest difficulty, then do every mission again with certain challenges attached, like time limits, don't get hurt, shit like that. In doing so, you get access to cheats like the golden gun from the movie, better traction for your cars, better battery. I did manage to get a couple of them, but
ain't nobody got time for that.
The total playtime was about 8 hours, which is decent. The game was promoted well, with even getting John Cleese to appear on X-Play, sweet, and reviews were favorable. It was followed up with GoldenEye Rogue Agent, a game where you don't even play as James Bond. Then the following year was 007 From Russia with Love, a game based on the movie, which looks like it took a lot of inspiration from this game. Overall, I still do like this game, even if it can be a little bullshitty at times. Whether or not it's the best Bond game is still debatable, I guess, but for me, this game is just good, old-fashioned fun. Remember fun? I do.
I'm happiest in the saddle.